not eating. Thank you. And I'm still working with this little bitty bill. Somebody better come forth with my bill pretty soon. I don't want to get angry, you know, but I miss it.
Well, you never had it.
I still miss it, so there. Okay, thank you. And Henry, will you please lead us in the pledge?
Please stand and repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Come on, Mike.
Okay, Linton, you have a song for us.
Well, I understand that it's a beautiful morning yet again. Here we go.
Another beautiful.
Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I got a beautiful feeling. Everything's going my way. There's a bright golden haze on the meadow. There's a bright golden haze on the meadow. The corn is as high as an elephant's eye, and it looks like it's climbing clear up to the sky. One more time. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I got a beautiful feeling. Everything's going my way.
Thank you so much. That was great. Okay, Michael McLaughlin, thank you for setup, and we'll be asking members to please hang around afterwards so we can put it all back and put it away. Thank you. And a thought for the day, Michael Phil. Would you come on up here and I'll give you a microphone.
Long way to go for 1 second.
The exercise is good for us, you know.
So this is from William Faulkner. You cannot swim for new horizons until you have the courage to be sight at the shore.
Thank you. Thank you, Kathy, our creator. Thank you, Cashier. Yeah, gotcha. And Scott Hensey, there you are. Okay, you're our raffle king here. And then you get double duty today. You're also running with the mic. Thank you. And we want to say welcome to Sarah. Michael, or David, would you come on up? Hi. Hi. Danish, you can do the Danish if you want to. But yeah, thank you so much for having me. Yeah, and I'm Sarah from Denmark. I'm so looking forward to getting to know you all way better. Yeah, that's my host sister, and this is my host sister to be, yeah. Yeah. So thank you so much.
Yeah. I see you brought a banner.
Yeah.
Hold on, this is a picture moment. Get the two of you together. You're done.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And we will get a banner. Thank you so much. Okay. And we want to welcome our guests and visitors, Zoom participants.
Los dos. And we have a visiting Lieutenant Governor Marilyn Lira. Hi, everybody. Good morning. It's wonderful to see you smiling faces.
Assistant governor,
President Diana, I'd like to introduce guests of the club, other members. Please welcome Marion and Clary.
Welcome, Mary. I'm glad you're here.
I would like to introduce Linda and Piper Holmes, the host parent for Sarah. Piper was in Mr. Brett's class and brought home a flyer and said, "We got to do this, right?"
Awesome.
Yeah. So how's it going thus far?
Really great.
Yeah. You got a sister.
I know, it's nice because my sister always has been leaving for college, so now I get an actual sister the whole year. I'm really excited.
That's awesome. We were happy to find the vacant room. And Linda.
It's been going great. And they're so cute, they have like matching dimples, right? Did you see that? The two of them.
Oh, twin sisters by a different mother.
That's right.
How did that happen? So welcome. So glad you're here, and thank you very much.
And we have a visiting Rotarian, Diana Rich from Runner Park, yes?
No.
No, I'm sorry.
From the new club.
Oh, here we go. Go have some breakfast and take a chair.
Okay, welcome, Diana. She is also our speaker today. Thank you very much. Okay, time to mute all. If you have phones, please put them on airplane mode. And I would like to invite Marilyn up. We have a Ukrainian family that's going to be sponsored by our club. David will come up in a few minutes. Marilyn has some wonderful gifts for them.
Well, besides being in Rotary, I also belong to the Moonlight Quilters of Sonoma County. And when a quilter hears that there's families coming in who don't have anything, we make quilts. So, for each of the ladies that we have a quilt.
wow.
Sweet. That's beautiful.
Gotta be sunflowers in there
Gorgeous.
somewhere.
And of course, if you have a quilt, you have to have a pillow. So I made some pillows, and they match all the different little quilts. All the quilts are different, but I'll leave them all with you. And then we also have a little bag. It could be a shopping bag, a school bag, or whatever bag. And it's filled with things like pencils and erasers and notepads and crayons and all kinds of
Great.
wonderful things, mostly for the girls for school, for when they're going to be coming in. So I'm not here with a Rotary hat, I'm here with a quilting hat. So there you go. Thank you so much for letting me do this for you.
Thank you. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Wow, that's such a wonderful thing, Marilyn. That what a great contribution. Colorful, beautiful. They'll go well in the house. So thank you.
The spirit of
When I grow
Elaine
up, I want
lives.
to be more like you.
Spirit of who?
So
Campbell.
our Ukrainian family, we believe, is in the air now. They got stuck in Germany, couldn't get through customs. Don't we ask? And then we got them to Ireland, and guess what? They got made too late for their plane there too. But we believe that they are after 2 rebookings, they are in the air, they are on their way, their little dog is coming with somebody else. They were escorted through all of that. It was a little bit, disappointing, let's call it. But they're going to live in Roanoke Park. And you, Rotary Club of Sebastopol Sunrise, led the way by creating a district matching grant. We raised, with the help of 7 other clubs, we raised $22,600 to help to defray costs for that. And guess what? I've got an appointment for the district conference with the Lions Club later this month. They're wanting to jump in and help out too. So this is not a Rotary project, this is a community project. And this family is what we will have. So here in the farthest back, that's Irina, the mother. And in front of her, to her left is, to our left, anyway, right there. In the dotted dress is Ala. She's the grandmother or mother-in-law. And then the 2 girls, age 13 is Katya. She's 13. And the smallest is Miroslava, age 8. So they are acquiring English as they travel. And we're setting up for them to be able to get registered for school, get all the things they need, set up life here in the US. They're here on a 2-year visa, an emergency visa, allowing them to leave Ukraine. Their household, I think I had mentioned before, their town was overrun within the first week of the conflict, and they had to leave. Yes, later.
Is their father staying back and fighting and all that?
Yes. Men of that age are not permitted to leave the country. They're part of the effort in whatever way is necessary. So, yeah, Dad stayed behind. Can you imagine? He went down to get his family in line, and there were people driving people out. So they would drive up, put a family in, and off they would go into Poland to be distributed wherever the hell they were going. And he put his family in a car and waved goodbye. So he put them in the right car. John Nankum, who came and spoke with us, was the driver of that car, and he is the reason that they are coming here, because he did major arrangements for them to be sponsored and come here to the US. So, is this cool? Yeah, this is big, isn't it? So anyway, thank you to all of you, and I know that you'll get to meet this family and have them be a part of all of our lives.
Thank you so very much, Dave. And thank you again, Marilyn. This is just wonderful. They'll love these quilts. Okay, well, Nick is not with us. He's off, I think, in New York, I'm not sure, but this is his December anniversary on the 12th. And we have the main event coming up. Is there anyone here who wants to say a few words about the main event, our big fundraiser?
Isn't that a beautiful flyer? Thanks, Scott. Nice job. So we are progressing. I don't see a lot of bottles of wine back here on the table just yet. We need to start getting those bottles of wine in, please. One of the auction items will be 100 bottles of wine. I'm very pleased to announce that our own Michael Fells is a superhero. Michael Fells got us a house in Sardinia that we're going to auction off as part of the auction. So absolutely thrilled about that. You know, that's kind of it. Ticket sales are going to start next week. They're being printed right now, and we'll distribute them next Wednesday to everyone. Think about businesses that you can approach that might be willing to buy a table. We'd really like to sell tables of 10, and I think they're going to go very well. So think about the businesses that you do business. I'm talking like Ace Hardware, I'm talking Pacific Market, I'm talking, some of the bigger businesses in town that have employees. My dentist is buying a table, as an example, because her people are just thrilled to go. A table is 10 tickets, so that's $1,250. So, anyway, we'll start that next week. Get your bottles of wine in, get your auction items in for the silent auction, and start talking it up to people. It's gonna be a great event.
Thank you, Michael. Looking forward to it. Okay, we have a Ukrainian refugee relief fundraiser sponsored by the Rotary Club of Rancho Cotati on September 17th in Roanoke Park. Let's see, David, did you want to say a few words about that? I'm keeping you up here all the time.
That's okay, I'm just drinking coffee and not eating. So this event will raise funds for various projects that are going on in Ukraine, but it also is earmarking the money to help out the family that is coming to live in Roanoke Park, our Ukrainian family. They are one of the participating clubs in that grant. So this is a rock your socks off, totally awesome thing to go to. There's indoor and outdoor facilities, so go buy tickets. And if you want to buy a ticket and you want it to be convenient, just come to me, because I've got 10 burning a hole in my pocket right now. So I'm happy to sell them to you and get you there. And if we turn out big for this, do you think those guys will turn out big for us? I think that's important for us to look at. So put September 17th on your calendar.
Okay, thank you, David. Okay, more things going on. Festival of Brotherhood is coming up in October. It seems a ways off, but it's time to start planning for it. Michael, could you say a few words about that for us?
Why, sure. Yes, the Festival of Brotherhood is kind of woven into the history of this club. It's a cooperation between this district and the Rotary district around Guadalajara. We've done dozens of projects in association with Rotarians there. And there was a hiatus, so we didn't travel down there to find projects, but it's back now. That opportunity is here, and one reason we like it is because it's not that far away. We can travel to Mexico and meet the people that will be associated with the project, visit a project site, and get some little emissary group. Then the club will be empowering them to commit some funding for a project or two in Mexico. So it's kind of fun to get down there and spend other people's money. It's wonderful. So thinking about going. The festival's coming right up in October.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. We're looking forward to it. Oh, any other announcements from our, Marty?
I just want to let people know that we do have a new superintendent of schools, Chris, and I actually went to lunch with him 2 weeks ago. I think he called me and said, I understand you know where the bodies are buried. But after being there 38 years, maybe. But anyway, I know that he wanted to come today, except on his calendar, he didn't, he's got to be there for the teacher work day. We also have a new principal at Laguna, and I've not met him yet, but Chris is going to bring him when he comes. So we have a potential of 2 new members that are involved in the West Sonoma County High School District.
Wonderful. Looking forward to meeting them. Any other, oh, here we go.
I have these passes and wristbands for our volunteers on Saturday and Sunday. So Michael will help me get them to you. It seems to me there's plenty of wristbands, but there's not enough parking passes, so anyway, we'll help me out. There's maybe 6 passes and we need more. Even counting the couples, we've got more than 6.
I'm on Frankel, which is not a block walk. If somebody wants to park in front of my house or in the thing, I could do that.
It's on Sunday. I said it.
Yeah, okay, well, thank you very much.
Another announcement?
Another announcement.
I'll just say one more thing about Harvest Fair. Lindsay Parker's been doing an awesome job, do the PR to hear on the radio and see all kinds of stuff. Promoting the fair, it's Lindsay. So if you see her out there, tell her good job, and also tell her to come back into some of our meetings, because we'll get her to join. I know she's up for it.
Okay. And, oh, Linda.
I'd like to hear about your trip.
Oh, dear, okay,
Another
30
announcement.
second,
Another announcement.
okay.
Oh, I would like to encourage everyone to go to SCARC this month. It's, the subject again is the Ukraine, and it's a progress report on the Santa Rosa clubs who have put together and donated a whole lot of money. But anyway, so thanks, SCARC.
Okay, well, I will just do a real 2-second trip. I visited the mountains just not far from Bridgeport on Upper Twin Lakes, where my in-laws in the 1960s, before I was married, built a cabin. I helped them carry bricks, and I got to see pictures of myself they had up there. And my first marriage was there. It was very interesting. My son and the grandchildren have inherited the place, and it's right on the lake. It was gorgeous. They were out there kayaking. There's big, huge mountains at the end with glaciers on top. It was a gorgeous, wonderful trip. Almost got stuck on the other side with mudslides because I went over Monitor Pass, had to come back over Monitor Pass, come around Pomo to get home, which was kind of interesting. But all by myself for the first time riding through the Sierra, and I can do it.
Yay!
Okay, thank you. And now we have the Monday morning hikers. Gus, would you like to say a
We
few
got one more
words?
announcement.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thanks. So not only, I really push sometimes.
They got you around here.
That's right. So among the things that we do, there's international service, and for over a year now, we've been working with a club in a place I'd never heard of before called Zamboanga City. It's in the Philippines. And we, as a club, participated in a global grant to expand a telemedicine project there from just 2 locations to over 20, with the support of their government, the very dynamic Rotary Club there. So there's a little flyer. So tomorrow, on their program, as one of the dignitaries, turning over the equipment to those 20 locations so they can all participate in this telemedicine program that they've got going. So very happy with that, and it's a milestone in that service and our project there. So I just want to let you know, we're ready to go.
One more great thing that our international committee is doing. This is terrific. Okay, Gus, do you have a few words for us about your hike?
Well, your hike was great. Monday morning we went off aiming for Dewey Lake. We were sort of delayed. There was an accident on Lakeville Highway. So we ended up at Schaumburg. We got our 4 miles in, and it was quite interesting. I mean, there's a lot, as the water treatment plant out there, there's the lakes, the river. It's an interesting place to take a look at. And then The small train came back and forth. Well, hey, the weather was great, the company was good.
Well, thank you, Gus. Yeah, our Monday morning hikers, every Monday morning. And you meet over at, is it Hop Hop?
Yeah, outside the bar.
Outside the bar, not inside. Okay. Well, at 8 in the morning.
They're having Bloody Mary.
Oh, okay, just to get going, huh? Okay, I just quickly, Helene contacted me. She's talking about having a celebration of Bruce's life on October 16th from 1 to 4. I haven't distributed to the district yet. She asked me to hold off. I don't know if she's changing anything. Anyway, she said she'd get back to me, but initially this is what she asked me to announce this to our club. And of course, we've touched on a lot of these, the Gravenstein Apple Fair, our Monday morning hikers. The board meeting is on the 15th at 5:30. Anyone interested besides board is invited to come, of course. We will do it online, Zooming. Then there's Scark dinner coming up for Santa Rosa, and then our lobster boil, and there is Bruce Campbell's celebration of life in October. Okay, any attitude of gratitude we have here today? David has
One really big one. I have spent the last 2 months refurbishing a house to prepare for the Ukrainian family, and I finished last night.
Thank you. Wow, Ryan.
5 seconds here. So, yeah, really good spread, and last Sunday before was a press Democrat in our company, and super grateful because of a big outpouring from the whole community wanting to support what we do. So we're on the verge of deploying a whole bunch of these systems. For those who don't know, it's taking waste plastic and converting it into diesel fuel, and this liquid that goes into recycling plastics. So that was a really awesome spread. Unbelievable community support.
Great, and great for the environment. Thank you. Okay, well, next week we have Nicolette, I'll try this, Weinzig, that's as close as I'm going to come, from the North County Workforce Development and Education. And I'm very pleased to welcome Diana Rich, our speaker today. Charlie gave me a little write-up about her. I didn't know everything. I just know her from our West County Coalition of Service and Action Coalition. Diana was elected to the Sebastopol City Council in late 2020. She's new to politics, but not new to Sebastopol, having moved here over 20 years ago to raise her 2 sons and make a life in what she fondly calls her forever home. I love our forever home too. Yeah. She's been a member of the Noon Club since 2011 and has been a Rotary board member and is currently the president of the Sebastopol Rotary Education Foundation. For many years, since 2017, she was executive director of the Sebastopol Community Cultural Center. So welcome, Diana. A woman of my own faith.
Thank you very much, and I have a PowerPoint here. So testing the
We'll see
skills.
if I can do this.
Let's see if she can handle this. There are many people in here who will help you if necessary, I'm sure. So thank you for having me here. It's always a pleasure to be here at Sunrise Rotary. As most of you know, I'm not a morning person, so Were it not for that, I would be here regularly. I am so impressed by everything you do. And I'm gonna share with you a little personal note, which is that my son just proposed to his longtime girlfriend. Hooray! Awesome. Yeah. So now we're into, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to take out a second mortgage on the house. I did not get this wedding thing right. Whoa! Anyway, big fun thing happening, and I'm excited as we move out of, even though it's still part of our lives, COVID, to see more and more celebrations. It's actually really, really wonderful. Face-to-face people, I walk around and I go, oh, you're three-dimensional, that's so cool. You're not Zoom. I know, gotta stay on Zoom sometimes. So my goal today, so I'm Diana Rich, I am on the Sebastopol City Council. My term ends in 2024. I am also involved in the Sebastopol Service and Action Coalition, and I was asked to speak on both of those topics today. So I'm going to take about 20 minutes, and I know there will be questions, so we'll make sure that we gather them at the end there. But I'm one of these people, if you end up having a question, sometimes they can trigger an even more interesting presentation, so go for it. I'm going to move forward, and we'll see. Oh yeah, here we are. Oh. Yeah, I did this morning, so who knows? So anyway, Sebastopol Service and Action Coalition is a group of service organizations here in Sebastopol. And what you're seeing up there on the screen is the original banner that was displayed at Peacetown concerts when this group came together. It's changed its name. It's now Sebastopol Service and Action Coalition. And really, it's a group that is engaged in collaboration and support and sharing of information. And it has brought together leadership within a number of these organizations that I think David and Diana will tell you has been really super productive. So for instance, there have been a lot of connections between this group, Sunrise Rotary, and the Lions Club. We've all known the Lions Club all the time, but these have been moments when that relationship can develop, and I guarantee you that part of the bridge that is connecting, for instance, the Ukrainian program that David said he's going to be speaking to them about is the Service and Action Coalition, those regular meetings. They do meet regularly. We're now to a quarterly arrangement. It is Zoom. There have been a number of really super fun projects that have developed out of that. One of them is the Helping Other People program that was spearheaded by the Lions, by Don Canardi. And that's a number of people here at Sunrise Rotary have participated, and it's super fun. Because for me, I bring the donuts and coffee, okay? Everyone loves donuts, except there's the donuts and water place, but that's where I go for my donuts. And you just go into people's houses, and it's a hands-on project to really help in yards and, screw in light bulbs and clear out the backyard and just kind of help people. The project group is from the Senior Center. So that's nice if you think about what is this group doing, it's really developing those partnerships, bringing people together so that they know one another. So Katie, sad, she's leaving. Katie at the Senior Center helped to put together the list, and that's continuing. So that's helping other people. The other big project was the Community Needs Summit. There were 2 of them, one most recently. And I think, I have up there, the Sebastopol Guide to Nonprofits and Service Organizations. And I really encourage you to take a look at that, because it has all these amazing nonprofits and service organizations and it's on the city website under Community Vitality. But it has all of them, a summary of all the groups. It's really incredible. So those are the 2 big projects, and of course, presence at Peacetown. But really, it's almost like, I look at this group, and the strength of this group is you come together, and you do a lot of amazing projects. I mean, I get that. I see them all over town. It's so incredible, and you continue to do them. But you also just come here, and you meet one another, and you connect, and you see each other, and then when there's an opportunity to do something meaningful, it's easier to reach out and do that. So honestly, that's, I think, the strength of the Service and Action Coalition. David, anything you want to add? You've been so heavily involved. David Martin McFreeman has been a huge part of that.
I'm overexposed already, nothing to say.
Okay. So there you go. That's the Sebastopol Service and Action Coalition. PowerPoint person, what do you think? Better push this side, Aaron? Yeah, that in the middle. Ooh, nothing happened. So exciting. Oh, I already know. Okay, so this is my big PSA. Public service announcement here, folks. There are 5 city council members. Nisa Hinton and I, our terms expire in 2024. There are 3 terms that expire this year. The period for filing papers with Mary Gurley, who is a pinnacle of confidentiality, so you can always reach out to her and ask her any questions. That's one of our amazing strengths, is the incredible Mary Gurley, our assistant city manager. She publicizes an interest in being elected for city council when papers are pulled. So that's why you see up here the list of the papers pulled. So Dennis Coulters, Oliver Dick, who is Oliver Marks, on his public face, but this must be his formal last name. Kyle Falvo, Andrew Levis, who I know as AJ Levis, and Jack Piccinini. They have pulled papers, have not filed. Filings are due by August 12th. That is this Friday. So if you have any interest in city council, even if you just are curious about what the heck it is, I will tell you, when I went in and talked to Mary Gurley, she did not sugarcoat it, okay? She was very, very blunt about obligations and time commitments. So if you know anyone, I will tell you that this city council is, it's been one of the most amazing experiences of my life, because we don't all agree. We have different positions on any particular topic. You can never go, okay, she's gonna vote this way along with her and her. It's really unpredictable, but it contributes to better decision making. And in terms of me looking for good candidates, here's my standards. It doesn't have to do with how you vote. It doesn't have to do with your politics. Ethical, strong moral compass, an ability to explain your position, openness to other people's positions, and willingness to show up at meetings. You have to live within the city of Sebastopol, which is meant that there were a lot of people I couldn't reach out to. So that if you know of anyone, please let them know to reach out to Mary Gurley. I do have information on my web page. I have a personal web page, dianarich.com, that I set up when I was campaigning. It's still there, and it's not like every day I'm on there, but there is a news feed, and you can get information on various topics, certainly all the ones I'm talking about today. So that is the city council campaign. Anyone have any questions on that before I move on? Yes?
Are there any factions on the council? That is, are there groups that tend to vote together? And if so, how is that organized?
That's a great question. No, there are, depending on the topic, I'm sure people who go to the city council can say, okay, Eunice's gonna vote this way. I would bet money on it. Patrick, he just sits and waits until he's heard everything, so you never know. Sarah, you can predict on a certain level, but no, there aren't. I am not experiencing in the last 2 years a voting block of 3 or a voting block of 2. No, I don't see voting blocks. What I do see is generally there will be a unanimous vote, but people are pretty clear in advocating their position. One example is the parking ordinance, which we implemented fairly recently, and Uniglass was very concerned about it. It did not speak to her heart, that change in our parking ordinance. It really bothered her, and she articulated that, and it was very clear how she felt about it. Yet when it came to a vote, I think on that one she held solid, so she was a no vote. But there's a lot of times when, and that's another thing, principle. There are times, and there are a few times when I have maintained my no vote, just as a matter of principle, even though I knew it was going to be overridden. There are some things you have to stick to, so I appreciate that. That's true of all of my fellow city council members. But, Una and I often will vote on these things. We're on the RV Village, we both supported the RV Village. On the parking ordinance, we came on, different sides of it. Sarah on the EMF issue, which involves our water meters, has been very solid on the position that we should not have approved that. I am very solidly behind having approved it and respecting our group decision. Patrick, I often will be on the opposite side of issues. And Nisa, yeah, she articulates her position. We never are completely aligned. So, no, I don't think we have voting blocks. Others might feel differently, but that's my perspective. Quick question over here.
What was the parking ordinance? Was it like not 24 hours or not overnight or?
So the parking ordinance, there's a lot of information on my website if you want to take a look at the history, but basically, the parking ordinance has set up a no, in commercial and industrial, there is no overnight parking. Okay, so it's focused on vehicles that have been converted to allow sleeping. RVs, vans, even cars that have been converted to allow people to sleep or live in them. And they are not allowed in commercial and industrial areas at all between, I think it's like, we modified it like 8 a.m. to during the day. They can be overnight, but not during the day.
Does that include the curb right across from the Barlow where they were all parked?
Yes.
Okay.
So basically it's clearing out for the daytime so that businesses and other individuals in the community can use those parking spaces, but they are allowed to be at night, which is a respect of people who have sleep. And then in residential areas, they are not allowed at all, except for, I think it's a 72-hour period when you can pull your RV up in order to change it or load things up. So it's a pretty structured rule, very structured. And generally, there have been an equal number of hooray and an equal number of darn in the community, which I figure is a success. So that's, I want to make sure we get through these various topics here. Let's see if I can, So the city budget is final, and it is available on the web, on the city website. You also can go to my website, I've got a link there. I know some of the meetings and information on the city website can be hard to navigate because it's so dense. But yeah, deficit budget, yes, we are spending more than we are taking in. But we have a community that really values quality services. We got to keep the streets going and the lights on, and we also have to meet a ton of different initiatives that have been important to this community. Climate action, the relaunch program, trying to, we've allocated money to hire a grant writer. All those pieces cost money, and we have staff, by the way, that works their fanning off. I don't know any staff member that isn't working more hours than they should be working and isn't wearing multiple hats. So it is an amazing staff, and I'll say that's one of the positive points about being on the city council too, this incredible staff. So here's the numbers. The good news is that we do have still a good reserve. Our standard has always been 15%, and we're beyond that. And I will tell you that this is the unallocated reserve. There also are pockets of money that we've set aside for transportation and equipment and other specific areas that are not. We could pull those out if we needed to, and so the whole amount is about $4 million. So we're doing what we can, and boy, do we hope that hotel gets built, because the city does not have a lot of revenue opportunities. Question back here?
Any resolution to the embezzlement that happened?
So, what's being referenced here is that the county, I think it was 1.2 million. There is money, a lot of the revenue that's collected that goes to the city first funnels through the county. So, for instance, property taxes. And so the county kind of holds on to it for a lot of jurisdictions, and we draw on it as we need it, or as it's distributed as a kind of on a projected regular basis. The county sent 1.2 million based on an email request that turned out to be fraudulent. the county sent 1.2 million to some bank in, I think it was in, I don't know, the East Coast or something, I don't even remember. Anyway, it was based on an email that was fraudulent. The money got transferred, it's now gone. And so this was, I think, less than a year ago. And the city has filed with our own insurance carriers. And by the way, we had more insurance than the county did for this. And then the county has filed with their insurance carriers. And we have collected back, I think, of the 1.2 million, I think between the county's insurance carrier and ours, somewhere around 700,000. So there's still some outstanding money that has not been reimbursed. And yes, we do have legal fees as a result of this because we needed to protect ourselves. In terms of gathering the rest of the money, this is sensitive. We are pursuing it. We will get it back. We could, in fact, the city could sue the county, and we're confident that we have every right to sue the county. But the county is one of our working partners. So we are pursuing the receipt of this money in kind of a negotiation stance. But it is, I will tell you behind the scenes, it is aggressively being pursued. That is the city's money, that is taxpayer money, and the city did nothing wrong. A fraudulent email that had Anna, that had our finance director's name misspelled. A phone call that was never made from the county to the city to confirm the transfer, to a bank that was out of state, a decision made on the basis of one person within the county who did not check with anyone, and who within the policies was not required to check with anyone. I mean, the whole thing, but yeah, we'll get our money back, and we just, as usual, you gotta make sure, keep an eye on the gold. So, but that's an excellent question. So any questions on the budget, because I want to make sure I cover everything else. No, okay. So fire department, big hot topic. I will tell you, I love our fire department. We have issues with the fire services in terms of future stability. And I'm talking financial stability, and I'm talking service response time. As I said to Marty, I think just yesterday, the day before we were having coffee, there is only so quickly a human being can respond when they are in their bed at home and they get a call and they got to drive to the fire department and then get deployed. We have an amazing group of volunteer firefighters, incredible, high quality, highly trained. They've been off with CAL FIRE recently. They're amazing. So bottom line is the city council has just, I think yesterday, a contract was signed with Matrix Consulting, and we will get a neutral and independent review of how we can stabilize finances and service in the future. Just to address one misunderstanding, no, the city is not looking at eliminating funding for the fire department. This year, 1.3 million has been allocated, but that fire department needs more than 1.3 million. Where are we going to get it? That's what we'll hope to hear from Matrix. So that is fire department. And then just really briefly, other updates. The town hall for the unhoused was on June 30, and there's a great video that involves interviews with various formerly unhoused here in Sebastopol, if anyone's interested in that. Climate action framework is in place on the website. Huge document that gives some very practical direction for the city. And hey, breaking news, police chief, some of you may know, police chief is leaving Sebastopol. Kevin Kilgore is taking a job in Roner Park as, I think, a deputy chief, so he's not going to be the chief there. I think the news announcement, I just read the draft last night, and so it's going out today. So that's sad. I have great respect for Kevin Kilgore, and I thought he did amazing things here, and I will continue to have that respect for him. People make personal decisions we all know, for so many different reasons. So I'm not gonna question his personal decision. It's what is working for him and for his husband, and I wish him the best of luck. No reservations. The absolutely wonderful news is that Ron Nelson, who has been the lieutenant for a long time as we went through these uncertain times, is stepping up. So he's going to be our interim police chief, and he's an amazing guy. Sebastopol Walks is just a great program every month if you want to do that, 9 a.m. at the plaza last Saturday. Housing. If anyone wants to reach out to me about the housing element, please do. Yes, we have an affordable housing problem in town. What can you say? So that's the key pieces there. And I think all I have is my final stay involved, everyone. You can come to a city council meeting. It's on Zoom. You can send an email to mgurley@cityofsebastopol.org, and she will fly it off to all of us, and we will get it immediately. And you can always reach out to me. So questions?
And Diana,
Yeah.
you might want to talk about the Matrix company doing a study on the fire department so people are aware of that.
Yeah, thank you. So the Matrix Consulting Company did sign the agreement just yesterday morning, and they will be doing a complete study, and it will look into financial options and service options, and it will include the consideration of consolidation, but not exclusively. The fire district that is being considered for consolidation is Gold Ridge, but that is not Matrix. Their task is not just to tell us about consolidation. Their task is tell us, because they're very experienced, about all the options that we could consider, and that would include status quo, which would mean 24/7 staffing. We would hope, but with an independent fire station. So let's see what they have to say. Thank you, Mark.
Yeah, Diana, one more quick question. I noticed all the artwork is gone from the old Diamond Lumber Yard that I passed this morning. Is something gonna happen with that project?
I was not aware of the artwork being gone, so I'll look into that and, just reach out to me and I'll find out. The sculpture garden is open, though. A lot of art around town. So thank you, everyone. I will stick around for a little bit. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Let's see, let's get this going. There we go, thank you. Before the drawing, really quick, I want to remind all of you that you should pay your dues for this year. Jerry's been adding up the accounts, and there are a number of us that are still owing, so please contact Jerry for our annual dues.
Let's read the list.
Oh, everybody stand up, you know who you are. Thank you.
I paid mine.
Okay, so John, a joke. Do you have a joke for us, John?
I'm not an experienced joke teller, so I had to do a little research on jokes, and I learned a few things. One, you don't ever tell jokes to kleptomaniacs. Take things literally. I also learned that you got to be careful with the jokes about time travel. The ones I had to share with you, you didn't like. I learned that if people that tell jokes should never date tennis players. To them, love means nothing. And finally, I would just like to say that you should never criticize people until you've walked a mile in their shoes. That way you're a mile away and you have their shoes. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So.
That was funny, John.
Oh, I missed something. I got straight to Happy Trails and we haven't had our drawing yet. Come on up. Where's Scott? I got it.
You don't have to marvel that.
Well, you might think I
Okay. Look what I got.
That's a good idea. Keep them in the
jar.
Choose.
Okay, read it now.
It misses mine by one. 3416. Now, you thought you won.
Come on up.
All right, Mary.
You get the red marble, you win.
Yes, I'm allowed to win.
Well, here's a chance to win some money. Thank you. And I wanted to thank Diana Rich so much for being here. And I have a little thank you to our guest speaker. Thank you so much. You did a terrific job. I appreciate it. Wonderful having you here. Okay. So I think we're ready for our happy trails.
Trails to you, will begin. And trails to you, we smile down the land. And trails to you, till we meet again.
Okay, wrist